Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Jamie and Huawei just sent us a phone that we were hoping that we'd get our hands on. I'm talking about the Huawei Nova 4. Now, not to get your hopes up, this still is an exclusive to the Chinese market, and Huawei sent us this phone as more of a teaser to the Nova series that will come to our shores eventually. Now, they promise that it'll be a lot better than this one, so here's to hoping that it will be. Now, without further ado, let's take it out of the box and check it out. For an unboxing experience, it's pretty much your standard fanfare. It's got the same white box the Nova 3 came in, except of course for the model number. Open it up and you've got the usual accessories that most phones come with nowadays. You've got a SIM ejector, a jelly case, Huawei's quick charger, a USB-C cable, and a pair of earphones. The unit they sent us was in black, which is definitely a little dull compared to the iris purple model of the Nova 3 that we got for our review last year. In terms of design, well, not much has changed on this front either. To put it bluntly, it's as if the Nova 3 and P20 Pro had a baby to give it that triple camera setup that you see tucked in the upper left hand of the device. Otherwise, the body doesn't seem to have changed very much. The Nova 4 has the same glass panel and metal frame as its predecessor and pretty much feels the same way in the hand as well. As is the case with phones with this material of choice, prepare it to give it a wipe down every now and then because, dear lord, it can be quite the fingerprint magnet. The button and port layout has been mixed up on the Nova 4, so let's take a tour around the phone. You've still got the volume rocker and power button on the right side. Access to the SIM tray is on the left. The speaker and USB-C port is on the bottom, and up on top is a headphone jack and what looks like to be an IR blaster. Of course, on the back is the fingerprint scanner and the triple camera setup consisting of a 20 megapixel main camera at f1.8, a 16 megapixel wide angle camera at f2.2, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor at f2.4, with all of the features we've come to expect from Huawei. Here's a quick look at a couple of camera samples. One thing we often neglect to show you guys is the video quality on the phones. Now, this is just a quick test of what the video shooting capabilities of the Nova 4 can do. It shoots video at up to 4K, but as you can see, it's pretty shaky since there's no electronic stabilization here. EIS is only available at 1080p and works on both the normal focal length and the ultra-wide camera for sweeping views of landscapes you might want to capture. For an initial run, we actually think that the output for both photo and video coming out of the rear cameras aren't that bad. It's plenty sharp, and having the option to go wide is always a welcome one. Now, there are some features that we haven't tested out just yet, such as AI-assisted night mode, so if you want to see how that goes, make sure you sub to the channel because we will be taking this phone out for a camera test. Let's move on to the main feature of the Huawei Nova 4. It's the first phone to be released that uses a pinhole display. Pinhole, punch hole, whatever you call it, the question is it better than the notch? We've had the device for less than 24 hours and there are mixed feelings amongst the team, and I'm a little on the fence as well. It's definitely different, but more akin to the smaller notches that we've been seeing on a lot of devices these days. It's a good thing that you can still hide it behind a black bar in case you're not digging the aesthetic. Before I move on, that pinhole does house the phone's 25 megapixel camera at an aperture of f2.2, and well, the exposure on the shots are still all over the place with highlights easily getting blown out. Strangely though, it does a little better with indoor lighting, which is a little weird since most phones we've tested go in the opposite direction. Now, the display itself is an LTPS panel that measures in at 6.4 inches with a resolution of 2310 by 1080. That gives you an aspect ratio of 19.25 by 9 and a pixel density of 338 pixels per inch, which gives you plenty of sharpness. Colors look pretty good too, but if you want to stretch out content to span the entire length of the screen, the pinhole can be a bit of an eyesore. I'm guessing this is something we'll have to get used to, just like we did with the notch. Under the hood of the Huawei Nova 4 is a Kirin 970 processor, which is a tad disappointing since the 980 was already available when this device was launched. It's still a very capable chipset posting great benchmark scores, but we would have loved to see Huawei's latest flagship SoC on this device, but I guess they needed the Mate series to be in its own league until the eventual launch of the P30 series. Our review unit came with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, so heavy users should have a ton of confidence that this phone has enough muscle to put in the work. The system runs on Android Pie that has EMUI 9 on top of it and is juiced up by a 3750 mAh battery that should keep the lights on for quite some time. Now, if you missed it at the beginning of this video, this phone actually isn't going to make it to Philippine shores. It's more of a teaser of what's to come from Huawei, but if you're wondering about the price, it's about 3,100 Chinese yuan or about 24,000 pesos. Now, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on the next ones. You got questions? Leave them down below and I'll try to get them as soon as I can. For all the latest tech news and gadget reviews, head to unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Jamie. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.